I'm in the Master's of Education in Instructional Technology, and after having begun a master's program in Ed Leadership, I saw that there was a huge need in the IT element within my building, and that also just adhered a lot to my interests as a teacher. And then in all honesty, just trying to raise a family, it's going to be a little more obtainable than being maybe a principal. So getting into that, it really catered to my interests about how to integrate those things that are 21st century technologies or 21st century standards and things like that. How could the program not fit? I mean, it's so accessible that you can be anywhere at any time and complete a lot of the work. There are very few occasions where you have to be in person at a place, or that there's a designated time for, let's say, a hangout, right, where you have your collaborative discussions. So I think that it really fits in today's world when people are super busy to accommodate that, but in an enriching way that is still authentic, and they have a lot of safeguards in place so it doesn't feel very distant and isolated regardless of the accessibility. I've been almost exclusively at this point just with taking classes and then coming to conferences because I kind of knew what I wanted, and I had read and had a friend that had done the program as well, so I already knew a lot going in. But the interactions have been great because I consider it, as much as you want, they'll give. You can work to just what the bare standards are, but if you want more, you'll get it. For instance, meeting up with people outside of classes to get some clarification or just talk about a different topic. They've loaned me other books that we've mentioned and blog discussions, and so that's been really valuable because it makes you feel like you're part of a bigger set of learners, even though that maybe they are the professor of the class. We understand that we're all in this vein of education, and I think they really adhere to that motto. This week, really influential is that design thinking process for me, because I had known about it, I've employed some elements of it, but just seeing kind of more clearly how can you take just what it says it is, a process that is very loose, and you can use that process regardless of discipline or content area, and how that kind of can be motivating, because at the end of the day it keeps bringing you back to that student-centered, empathetic view of education. And that's pretty hard to go wrong at that point because it has so many safeguards in place. And so what I also like about design thinking process is that you're already employing backwards design, anything that's inquiry-based education, they all play into that because you're starting out with a question that, again, has the end in sight, and students are at the center of it. So I'm looking forward to taking that back and hopefully motivating others.